Hey guys, let's start with new chapter of Loyal Pin, Volume 2, Chapter 31, Red Wine. Are you feeling tipsy? Valentita's voice was soft as she spoke to Princess Anil, who was sitting in front of the dressing table. Princess Anil paused in removing her earring and glanced up at Valentita's reflection in the mirror. Do I seem drunk? Princess Anil asked with a slight smile. To be honest, yes, you do. Valentita's small hand gently brushed the back of Princess Anil's ear, tracing down her long, elegant neck before resting meaningfully on her slender shoulder. She met Princess Anil's gaze through the mirror. To be honest, you seem sober to me. So, what's your verdict? Princess Anil chuckled as she focused on removing her earring. Is Anil drunk or not? Your cheeks were quite flushed, Valentita said as she affectionately wrapped her arms around Princess Anil's shoulder. And your eyes look a bit glazed, like someone who's had a few too many. Princess Anil laughed and gently kissed Plantita's wrist before playfully blaming the Grand Prince. I blame the Grand Prince for always my glass with red wine until it's really empty. Who else could you blame? Plantita said, sneakingly planting a big kiss on Princess Anil's cheeks with affection. You're quite the drinker. Eventually, Plantita moved away from Princess Anil's side and walked over to a small brass bowl on a writing table. She soaked a towel in warm water, wrung it out, then returned to the bed, inviting Princess Anil with a sweet voice. Anil, please come over here. Plantita called out. Upon hearing this, Princess Anil carefully placed her earrings and necklace into a dark velvet box and obediently walked over to sit beside Plantita on the bed. I'll just clean your face a little, Plantita said, using the towel to gently dab Princess Anil's forehead, cheeks, neck, and shoulders. The warmth of the towel conveyed Plantita's concern and reached Princess Anil's effortlessly. I can smell wine on your breath. Plantita's arm, now free from holding the towel, pulled Princess Anil closer, gently tracing her beautiful nose tip in a teasing, seductive manner until Princess Anil couldn't resist. She leaned down and kissed Plantita passionately, their warm tongue intertwined for what felt like an eternity. And what about the taste of wine in my mouth? Princess Anil affectionately asked as she pulled back from the kiss, her lips lingering. Can you taste it? The wine tastes bitter, Plantita replied with a sweet smile, running her fingertips over Princess Anil's lips, adorned with expensive dark red lipstick. But your kiss is so sweet. Plantita glanced at Princess Anil's expressive eyes for just a moment, unable to resist their allure. She then focused on gently dabbing the warm towel along Princess Anil's arm and the back of her hand, as if performing a sacred ritual. Do you feel better now? Plantita asked. I started feeling better as soon as you began using the towel, Princess Anil replied. I shouldn't expect any serious responses from you. Plantita pretended to sigh, but couldn't help but smile affectionately instead. You're quite the smooth talker. Hmm. Princess Anil gently took Plantita's hand, which was still holding the towel, and placed it on her chest. Who is this charming person you're talking about? That person is you, Anil. Plantita's lips curled into a playful smile. Don't think I'm naive enough not to know what's going on. Princess Anil looked confused. Your welcome party tonight has caught the attention of many, Plantita continued. While it may seem simple on the surface, behind the scenes there elegance in every detail. Even royals like Princess Padmika and Princess Dararai from Chiang Mai are involved, ensuring everything is perfect for their beloved niece. The venue chosen for this event was the Front Palace Hall, which had undergone extensive renovations to make it even more spacious and luxurious than Princess Anand's engagement ceremony. Many ceremonies and festivities were cancelled, leaving only a dinner to be shared among the king's close relatives and a select few honorary families. The king made it clear that this banquet would not serve as a partner selection ceremony for his youngest daughter in any way. Following the king's instruction, the guest list excluded any grand or vice princes regarding of their single or widow status. Guest selection was meticulously controlled, to the point that even Princess Padmika expressed feeling restrained when discussing it with her niece a few days prior. Even Prince Nepal, whom I believed to be a suitable candidate, failed to meet the king's standard. Therefore, Princess Anel's welcome reception at this time would not serve as a matchmaking event as the king had originally intended. On the contrary, the guests seated on either side of Princess Anel all held feelings of affection towards her. To her left sat Kunon, Elisara, the youngest daughter of the British ambassador. Elisara had been Princess Anil's close friend since elementary school, high school, and university. She was also the sister of Kunon, Ornida, Princess Anand's fiancée. Although Kunon remained polite throughout the evening, avoiding direct glances at Princess Anil, Belantita couldn't help but notice the meaningful looks she occasionally exchanged with the princess. That's not the way close friends look at each other. On the right side of Princess Anil sat Lady Ingfa, who didn't seem to be as cautious as Kunon in her demeanor, not even a bit. In Pelanteta's perspective, Lady Ingfa appeared shamefully infatuated. The elegant royal from Chiang Mai didn't hold back her admiration for Princess Anil, whether it was through sweet smiles or a pleading tone in her northern dialect. Sister like that, sister like this. No matter how grating it is to hear, Pelantita then focused, listening attentively to every word Chongfa spoke, not missing a single sentence. Did you see me like that? Princess Anel's voice remained sweet, soft, and pleading as always. But this time, Pelantita didn't seem willing to brush aside the doubts in her mind so easily. Yes. After Pelantita spoke, Princess Anel pursed her lips tightly, almost forming a straight line. What's going on with Kunon? Pelantita asked, forcing her voice to convey concern. Tonight, she seemed very anxious and distressed. She did? Princess Anil responded. Yes, Pelantita continued to dab Princess Anil's wrist with the towel in a gentle gesture, but her voice sounded firmer than ever. How long are you going to keep avoiding the issue? It's more that I don't even know where to begin. Princess Anil's sharp gaze softened instantly as she broached the topic of her relationship with Kunon, which resembled the ruins of once prosperous kingdom. Just tell me the truth, Lantita urged, her large brown eyes fixed on Princess Anil's beautiful face. Thing is, Kunon, Princess Anil paused, doesn't feel the same way about me as I do about her. Since when? Lantita lifted her head with a sense of defense. Despite mentally preparing herself for the conversation, she still dared to broach the topic. However, when Princess Anel responded to her inquiry, the revelation was so difficult to accept that Pelantita found herself holding her breath as she listened. I'm not sure when it began, but Kunon confessed her feelings to me nearly 2 years ago when I returned to England and stayed at her house. Stayed over? Plantita inquired. At that moment, Princess Anil could only swallow nervously, unable to find words to respond. Do you frequently stay over at Kunon's? Plantita's voice was tinged with anger and irritation, her eyes burning like a fiery embers. Only once a month, Princess Anil responded softly, causing Plantita's heart to soften. I just get homesick sometimes. I miss Thai food and conversation, she explained. Why didn't you mention it in your letters to me? Plantita's voice softened considerably as she fought back the urge to cry. She didn't want to shed tears over Princess Anel's story, knowing she had done nothing wrong. If you were in my shoes, would you share the story of Kunkua who captivated you? Plantita asked. Of course not. Plantita answered honestly. That's why I didn't tell you, Princess Anil confessed, burying her beautiful face into Plantita's slender shoulders. Because I don't know how it began, how it unfolded, and how it will end without causing you to misunderstand me. What did Kunon tell you? Plantita inquired, seeing the other person leaning down with a pleading gesture. Plantita couldn't resist, reaching out to gently brush Princess Anil's hairline and tuck it behind her ear affectionately. She confessed that she's been in love with me for a long time, as if I didn't already know. Princess Anil replied. How did you respond? Plantita's small hat continued to caress Princess Anil's hair delicately, though upon closer inspection, Lady Pin's hand trembled, making it difficult to control her movements. I simply told her that I don't love her in the same way she loves me. Really? Yes, please trust me, Princess Anil pleaded. Even if I do, I don't ease my mind, Violantita admitted, biting her lip and pursuing it tightly. Since tonight, I noticed that Kunon still displays obvious affection towards you. Violantita was still taken aback by Elisara's embarrassed yet infatuated gaze directed at Princess Anil's throughout the entire banquet, a fact that didn't escape her notice. Perhaps because she's only experienced it once herself, she's become accustomed to it. That's why she feels sympathy for the ambassador's daughter. But what can you do? Pilantita reached out and affectionately caressed Princess Anil's clear cheeks. You must love only me, right? Right? Anil? Pilantita couldn't help but lightly tap her palm against Princess Anil's shoulder. You shouldn't ask such question. I don't like hearing it at all. I'm just teasing you. Even in jest, it still doesn't sit right with me. Pilantita's lips formed a slight frown. You're still in the wrong. It makes me uneasy. I'm truly sorry, Princess Anil apologized, tightening her embrace around Lady Pin even more. The light tap from Pilantita's palm felt like a painful reminder of the guilt Princess Anil carried. I also think you are not entirely clear about Chao Engfa, Plantita continued. How so? Princess Anil's dark, slender eyes now looked cautious. She wondered what she had done wrong or what she had said that night to prompt Lady Plantita to delve into the uncomfortable stories she had long kept suppressed. You should understand, Plantita said, casting a surly glance at Princess Anil. What I am referring to. Chong Fa's behavior tonight, I have had suspicions for a while, but I never brought it up. Plantita continued. Chong Fa has never directly addressed me, Princess Anil explained, leaning towards Plantita. But I can't make unfounded accusations against her. Upon hearing this, Plantita immediately lifted her head with an air of arrogance, no longer pretending. I'll take it that at this point we are all making assumptions about Chongfa's actions, Princess Anil said, gently stroking the back of Plantita's hand with her thumb. We should give her the benefit of doubt, granting benefits even when the defendant holds a knife, ready to attack the accuser in front of the judge. Plantita glanced at her hand being caressed by Princess Anil's thumb with a cold, speculative look. You're quite generous. Princess Anil's thumb halted abruptly, as if frozen in place. But not me, Plantita asserted. I'm quite cold hearted, she continued, running her fingers over Princess Anil's hand, causing her heart to race. If you won't acknowledge Chao Fa's feeling for you, then you must handle every situation carefully. Let none of Chao Fa's actions upset me again, Plantita added. If not, you'll be the one to suffer, she concluded. Princess Anil offered a stiff smile to the woman before her, unsure how to react to Plantita's serious demeanor. No matter what anyone thinks, my love is only for you, she declared, planting an affectionate kiss on Plantita's cheek. She then proceeded to trail kisses along her jawline, behind her ears, and down her smooth white neck, leaving Plantita entranced. Plantita willingly tilted her head to welcome the touch, yet her words carried a tone that seemed to unsettle Princess Anil. Since you have agreed to the Grand Prince's invitation to take this entourage on a trip next weekend, Plantita's hand tenderly cradled Princess Anil's face, though her next words before a hint of a command. I hope there won't be any unpleasant incidents or sightings, she added firmly. So, guys, with this, we end our chapter 31, and I'll see you next with chapter 32.